Hello, everybody. My name is Kanye M, and welcome to On The Couch. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to yet another episode of On The Couch with your girl Kay. Hey, girl, hey. Happy New Week. Happy OTK Monday if you're listening to this on a Monday, but Happy New Week nonetheless. Whenever you'll find yourself sitting down with this conversation. This week, we are seated with the art of community. And really and truly, I just want us to talk about, the building of one's community from a very intentional perspective, doing life with good community, the repercussions of doing life with community that doesn't make sense, or the makeup of a community that doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on with my English. I hope it sorts itself soon. But that's basically what we're going to be seated with this week. However, before we get into that, let's just head on over to the Kouch Konfession. Okay. And to be quite honest, every single time I sat down with this episode and I'm kind of cracking my brain on what our Kouch Konfession is for the week, I don't really have one. But I keep on just thinking about this grace side of things that I'm currently dealing with right now, or rather, that's just a reality in my life. And my Kouch Confession is, in essence, part of me, is that I'm realizing that I don't have a lot of grace for people in this season. This is like the worst season to cross me over. Because I will cut you off. I will cut you off. I'm like, even just saying those words, I can just see my pastor's face in my mind, because there are just a couple of teachings where he ministers on, the art of cutting people off and stuff like that. And if I'm being quite honest, the good man of God is speaking to me. He is, guys. I'm such an avid believer of cutting off people that don't respect you or that just do funny things in your life, which that's a conversation for another day. I don't want to get into it and make the Kouch Confession longer, but I'm saying all of that to say that the Lord hasn't dealt with me in that area. And I think I also mentioned it in one of the previous podcast episodes that the Lord is greatly challenging me when it comes to, I don't want to say community, but when it comes to relationships with other people. And I didn't get into detail in the previous episode, but that's what I was speaking to, that my natural inclination is cut somebody off if they start doing funny things, because you're not going to disrespect me in my own life. You're not going to do funny things in my own life. So I will cut you off. But this time around, the challenge is coming out in the sense that you can't cut people off. You're going to have to forgive. You're going to have to be in the same space. You're going to have to coexist. And so the challenge is coming in greatly in that sense. But when I took up the challenge. So before I actually wrap up that thought, I took up the challenge and I was like, God, you know what? Let's work on this thing. I understand that cutting people off is not the greatest thing ever. So let's work on it. I was open to the challenge, but the more I sit down with myself, I'm just like, I honestly, jokes aside, I don't have grace for people. And I'm not talking about people that are like in my life like that, and people that I'm rather close to like that, and that are in my personal space. But somebody that's new in my life that does funny things, cross me over once. Snip, snip, goodbye. Like, goodbye. So yeah, the more I sit down with myself, the more I just realize that, yeah, this is the worst season to do something funny in my life. I can open and honestly say that I will not have the grace to sit down and have a conversation. And of course, it's not to say that I'm being like unreasonable, like fully unreasonable, because I'm definitely not that. But when certain things just qualify for a cutoff. They qualify for a snip snip. So that's just my Kouch Confession. Nothing crazy, nothing weird. And I guess it feeds into the conversation for the week as well. The art of being seated with the art of community. But yeah, man, the longer I just sit down with myself, I'm just like, yeah, I don't have grace in this season. I have it for the people that are already in my life and people that I've decided on, but people that I don't have so much of a stronger relationship with, or some kind of context and history with, unfortunately, those people are bearing the brunt of where I'm finding myself in this season. That I'm just like, I don't have grace. There are too many moving parts. The last thing that I need is the inconvenience of an individual. And guys, I am not preaching. Don't take this and start living this. This is something that I know for a fact is going to be um it's not going to be a thing, or it's something that's going to change, pardon me. It's something that won't be a reality in a season to follow. I'm just currently at a place where in this particular season of my life there are way too many moving parts, that the last thing that I'm willing to accommodate is somebody that just decides to do something funny. I don't have the grace for a conversation or to mend. I will cut you off. And I guess that's also why I'm low key not open to like friendships in this season. Um, Particularly in like professional settings. I'm not open at all. I'm not looking. I'm hoping, nobody's looking at me or anything like that. But I'm just very wary, and I guess in essence, I'm just very closed off when it comes to making friendship or building any kind of committed relationship in this particular season of my life. But yeah, that's my couch confession. That I do not, unfortunately, have grace for somebody that would decide to hurt me or do something funny. Yeah, there's just no grace, which sucks, but I'm really just hoping that it changes soon, because yeah, it's so bad. Like, it's just bad to a point where I'm just like, I'm not even willing to have a conversation. And for no teta, like, let's just, nah, nah, nah. But anyway, that's such a horrible couch confession. I even feel so bad saying it out loud, but it's just the reality of things. And I feel the need once again to say that please don't take that and make it a reality in your life, because you can't do life from that place. For me, it's more so coming from a place, Yaure, I'm even just so fatigued that I don't have energy for yet another thing. And the lack of grace more than anything is coming from that place. But sure, y'all pray for me. Keep me in your prayers. Don't know why I sang that. But anyway, like I said, we're going to get into the main topic of the podcast episode, which is us being seated with the art of community. I believe that on more than one occasion, I have touched on just how grateful I am for my people. Like, if there's one thing that continuously reverberates, I think that's redundant, but yeah, if there's one thing that just reverberates in my mind and my heart in this current season, it's just how grateful I am for the people that I have around me. And also just the realization that I have the most amazing women in my camp. Like, God did me a solid. And I'm not talking about it from the perspective that is how they make me feel, but this is just drawn from just looking at these people as individuals. I'm just like, mwah, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I am sincerely grateful. So the reason why today I want us to speak about community, obviously it stems from that. But more so, I just want us to speak about the importance of doing life with a community. This life thing cannot be done alone. And I know that we've lied to ourselves about just how independent we are, just how much we don't need people around us, just how strong we are, just how much we like spending time alone. Yes, it's good to a certain extent, but this life thing really does require you to have people that will rally behind you, back you up, pick you up, sit with you even in times where you don't want anyone to sit with you. This life thing needs community, right? And the reason why I want us to speak about or unpack the importance of it as well more so from the angle of being super duper intentional about the building of your community, is because you do life with these people. So the intentionality comes in from the perspective that is, you don't, guys, I'm going to need us to be just a little bit more intentional when it comes to people we call our friends and people we let into our intimate spaces. And when I speak of intimate spaces, I'm speaking about our homes, I'm speaking about our hearts more than anything, and just like the exposure to your person. Not everybody has the right or has the heart to handle your person, has the heart or the right to handle your mind, um, your body, like your entire being. Not everybody has to have the privilege of having access to that. And this is not to say that you must be like stuck up and you just must be like such an unpleasant person and you must not even allow people the privilege of experiencing the beauty of your person. But I'm really just speaking about, some people could care less about you. So why do you allow them to have access to you like that? Especially from like a friendship and a romantic um point of view, that if you know that that man doesn't care, I can't even say it without giggling because that's how ridiculous it is. You know that that man does not care about you, but you're hell bent on being with him romantically still. That's your man and you're gonna stick beside him. Like, no, I think I'm trying to break through the wall of being so nonchalant about the people that we have in our lives. Like, why is it that you know for a fact that your friend speaks smack about you behind your back, but you want to keep her in your circle? For ini, for ndoni, like cut it loose. Cut it loose. Like cut it loose. I've always been an avid believer in the fact that not everyone is your friend. I've never used the term friend loosely. For me, there has always been great intention that came behind that, and now there's even greater intention that comes with that. That with all the people that I know and all the people that I get along with, I only have 4 friends. I only have 4 friends, and 3 of those friends are my closest friends. And the ironic thing for me as well is that my friends are only now like finding formation, which is so funny. I realized the other day. I remember maybe it was 2 years ago, about a year ago, I had said to God that before I get married, it could be less than a year ago as well. But I was saying to God that before I get married, fix up my friends. like like fix up my friends. um because having been an avid believer of not throwing the term friend around loosely, like just because we get along and we love together doesn't mean we're friends. We're acquainted, we get along, but it does not mean we're friends. And so I'm not going to call you my friend because that's not what we are. My qualifying factor for a friend, take it, don't take it, but my qualifying factor for a friend is that if you don't know my person, if you've never been exposed to my person, you and I are not friends. If you don't know like my personal life, you and I are not friends. I think I can even push it as far as, if you've never been in a space with my sister, you're not my friend. Like, because I'm so big on merging my worlds together, particularly when it comes to the people that I love. Um, in the sense that I love it. I feel like I'm all over with this conversation, but I love it when the people that I love get along. Like, I remember this one time, I don't know, I'm thinking about the scenario, so I'm just going to mention it. But I remember this one time, it was after a service, one of my friends came to visit, and she had, of course, been around my sister, but yeah, not, how can I put this? She had, of course, been around my sister, but I didn't think how they interacted would happen so soon, right? Um, but yeah, I was talking to my friend, and I think my sister walked up to us, and the way that my friend's eyes lit up when she saw my sister, and the way that they hugged and they greeted each other, there was just so much love and there was so much warmth. And sonke, like the conversation. I have lots of friends, guys. I am a multilingual queen, but we'll get into that anyway. But whenever we're standing together, like the conversation just flows. The jokes just like it's just such a good time. And yes, like you guys don't spend a lot of time together, but even if I were to leave you in a room, you would be okay. Like I love it. I'm so obsessed with that. So much that I'm also just the biggest fan of the relationship that my best friend and my sister have. It's the best thing I'm sabeni. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, why are y'all leaving me out? But it doesn't come from a place of jealousy or anything. Like, it's gotten to a point where, and this is where the intentionality of building the life that you want when it comes to the area of community, this is where you see the beauty of it. That I remember this one time my best friend was down bad with the flu, like horribly down bad with the flu, and my sister drove to her, went to the pharmacy, literally built my friend her own entire pharmacy and took it to her, delivered it to her so she could have medication and get better. And I remember also this one time my sister got into a little tiff, not a tiff, but she had like a little situation. And because my family and I are so far from her, I called my best friend and I was like, are you busy? This is what's going on with my sister. Can you go check up on her? She literally dropped everything and drove to my sister. That when my best friend has to leave the city, like she's flying out, my sister's driving her to the airport. My sister's picking her up from the airport. Like that's for me, like just even thinking about it right now, my heart just bursts with so much love. Like that's the reward of building a community for yourself and doing it so intentionally, and also ensuring that you do quality control, that you have people that have character, people that love you, people that love themselves, people that think highly of themselves and that think highly of you. But of course, the bedrock of all of this is people that love and revere God. It becomes so beautiful. It becomes the most beautiful thing ever. And I think, like I said, I've been repeating it quite a lot in this episode, that I'm hoping that what you get out of this is that you start practicing intentionality when it comes to building the life that you want in the area of community. You cannot continuously be surrounded by low vibrational people when it comes to your person, by people that mishandle you, people that don't respect you, people that are jealous of you, people that talk silly things behind your back. Like if you have to think twice about what you say or what you do, or you think twice about picking up the phone and calling that person, cut them loose. That's no. Either sit down, have a conversation and sort it out, or cut it loose. It's the guys, let me tell you something. Life is already hard. Okay? This life thing is already so hard that the last thing that you need is to stress about people that you have decided to have in your own life. So I think I'm going to wrap up like the friendship aspect of things, because if I properly unpack the friendship area of things, I'm just going to sit here and talk about all my friends and I'm going to praise all of them. And I feel bad doing that, but be so intentional. Like I always, I with everything that I kind of teach and I relay on the pod, I always recommend that you find yourself, because that's really and truly the North Star of all things. But when you have a great sense of who you are, the quality and just the caliber of relationships that you end up attracting and that you end up forming and building rather in your life just become, it stacks up. Like the standard becomes higher, the quality becomes higher, and just more beautiful in comparison to when you are just floating through life and doing things without any kind of intention. So find who you are, know what your values are, and when you meet people, measure them up against that. If they don't meet that standard, don't try to be a kind person and compromise yourself. Let it go, cut it loose, move on, partner up with people that make sense for you. Stop apologizing for what you want just so you can maintain a relationship, and audit your friendships as well, please. audit your friendships, audit your relationships, audit your community. Some people can meet you where you need to be met in one season, but they can completely fail in the next season. But again, if there's rich history in that, don't cut that off. Sit down and have a conversation first and try to figure things out. But if you don't win in that regard or with that approach, then cut it loose. Like, guys, we are really and truly, like, we are adults. We're like the new adults now. This is badala. You know what I mean? And we can't keep on making excuses for people and compromising ourselves, because you're going to find that 10 years from now, you'll be singing the same song. Nothing would have changed. You're still making excuses for the same friend. You're still making excuses for the same guy. But really, before I get into it from a romantic point of view, I just want to like close off the friendship thing, that I also want us to divorce the idea or the notion that just because my friends do this, it doesn't mean that I do it. No, my babes, we get to an age where we know we can no longer live by that. That's why I was bringing in the fact that we're old now. Like, we're old. When it gets to a point in life, from a particular age, I guess, but it gets to a point in life where, when it comes to friendships, I'm thinking of the saying that goes, birds of a feather flock together, right? It could be that what I do on a Monday is not what my best friend or my close friends do on a Monday. This is such a bad analogy, but I'm trying to say that there is always something that you are touching and agreeing on. And this is how I measure, particularly in a romantic perspective. Like, this is how I measure somebody's character, but also with friends. Like, I can't have a bitter experience with somebody in the area of character, and then I'm trying to build, something with like a mutual of that person, like trying to be friends with that person's mutual. And I trick myself into thinking, no, they're different. Yeah, sure, they could be, but there's something that they touch and agree on, that when they're sitting together, they have something in common. So you can't keep making excuses for people that have a vile character and saying that, oh no, she's definitely not like that. No, my babes, when she's sitting with that other friend that is definitely like that, that comes out of her because they touch and they agree on something. This thing is so, okay, maybe not so deep, but there's a thing that my best friend and I like saying to each other, that yes, guys, Sana, I am my best friend this, my best friend that. Let's get that out of the way so I can stop feeling ashamed every time I say it. But there's this thing that we have where, when she has to do something professionally in ministry or whatever the case in point is, but particularly in the view of people, when she's got an audience or when I have an audience, there's just always that thing. I would say, hey, you must get there and do the right thing. Don't get there and embarrass me. It's a joke, of course, but just also feeding into that thing that the people you have in your life are a representation of who you are. So if I am friends with Nancy, if I'm friends with negative Nancy, when people walk into a room and they see negative Nancy, and they know we're friends and they know we're close, they're going to see a reflection of me, even though I could be a positive Penny. But again, there's something that you touch and you agree on. Stop. From a branding analogy, I feel like I'm being extremely repetitive, but I feel the need to just keep on emphasizing this, that stop tainting your brand by keeping people that you have no business keeping in your life. Do that audit and cut the necessary people out. That, like, let go, cut them loose, move on with your life. Because another thing is that the people that you keep around you are the people that inform the kind of person that you are, the kind of language that you use, what you believe about yourself, what you think you're capable of, and what you absolutely do not believe that you're capable of. The counsel, it filters the kind of it informs, rather, the kind of counsel that you give. I mean, the kind of counsel that you get. Like, friends inform a lot, and you need to be protective of your person, your purpose, and your destiny by ensuring that you surround yourself with the caliber of people that you need to grow, people that can keep you accountable, but um, people that can also comfort you when you need comfort, not people that think that they're better than you, people that think that they are more capable than you, that they are more deserving of good and nice things than you are. If, like, honestly, if you feel like you need to perform in front of your friends, leave. Don't even audit. It's time for you to pack up your bags and move on to the next thing. Because why do you feel the need to be anything but yourself in a circle of people that you consider your friends or your close friends or whatever the case in point would be? So, to summarize it from a friendship perspective, be more intentional, please. Be more intentional. And not everybody needs to be your friend. Not everyone is your friend. Like, one of the mistakes that we do, especially women that are called, especially in the area of healing, is that you end up befriending people that you were supposed to minister to. And what that does is that it stifles the work of the Lord through you, because the lines are now blurred. Somebody who was supposed to receive you as a leader or a mentor you are now friends with, so they're absolutely not going to receive what they should receive from you within the capacity that the Lord has entrusted you to minister to them. So it's so much deeper than just jokes and discussing crushes and all of this weird and wonderful things. It's so much deeper. Audit, audit, audit. Be intentional. Cut loose where you need to cut loose. Have a conversation where you need to have a conversation. Mend where you need to mend. And yeah, man, like, you deserve the absolute best. You deserve the best. You keep on giving people the best. You also deserve the best. So yeah, I think that's it from a friendship perspective. Intention, intention, intention. Please, intention. Um, when it comes to relationships, oh Sana, I don't have a lot to say. Like, I do not like speaking about relationships. Like, it's not, I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. Maybe it's a seasonal thing, I don't know, but like, boring. But the same, a lot of the principles that I highlighted from a friendship perspective could also apply here. But stop dating low vibrational men. And for the men that are listening, stop dating low vibrational women. Stop dating women that are manipulative, women that make you step out of your character, step out of who you are, women that constantly compromise you, women that are not going to build you. And to the women, stop dating ghetto men. Like, that's like the only word that I can muster up that's like all encompassing of some of the things that I'm not finding the words for, but I want to touch on. Like I said at the top of the episode, that if you know that that man doesn't care about you, why are you even dating him? Like, why are you still accommodating him? Why does he experience the most intimate parts of your person? Right. And again, when I speak of the most intimate parts of your person, I'm not speaking about it from a literal sense, but like, just like your mind, your heart, and things like that. Why are you exposing a man that is low vibrational to something that's so precious like that? You know what I mean? Like, he knows you like flowers. Buy your flowers from Grace Blooms, by the way, on Instagram. But on a serious note, like, the man knows you love flowers, but he never buys you flowers. Kodwa ephakade lakho lelo, mfethu. No, like, absolutely not. He knows you like going out on dates, but he's never taken you, not on one, not even a single date. He doesn't even say good morning. You're the one that's always saying good morning, but you want to spend the rest of your life with that person. What do you think is going to happen in your marriage? Because, and of course, this is what married people say, that whatever happens within the courtship phase or the dating phase, or however we want to term it, it gets multiplied in marriage. So this individual is not now going to mysteriously just change and become a beautiful person, now that you're married. No, he's going to be the same person. He or she's going to be the same person, just now on a multiplied front, because I believe that that comes from the fact that you're now spending like 24/7 with this individual. So you're seeing the worst parts of who they are on a multiplied level. So yeah, man, like, I don't even have a lot to say from a relationship perspective. That's how much that's not my ministry this season. It is not my ministry in this season, but when I made the example of using like people around someone to kind of gauge what kind of person that they are, I that's kind of also an approach that I've used on um I want to say men, but it doesn't sound right because I'm really not out there like that. But if I'm speaking to somebody on a romantic level or on a romantic side of things, I use the friends that they have to kind of measure up what kind of person that you are. And it has once for me become an issue because I'm like, okay, I'm like kind of observing this one individual that you're calling a friend, and I'm asking myself, how are you guys friends if this person behaves like this? What are you guys touching and agreeing on? What is it that kind of, that's like a golden thread when it comes to the two of you that you both have in common? Because I don't fully agree with one, two, three, four, five, six. Um, and you love this person dearly, but like, what's going on? What's cooking? What's tea? Um, and so yeah, it's guys, we really can't be nonchalant when it comes to the people that we have in our lives because like I said, you are doing life with these people. These are people that experience your worst seasons. These are people that have the privilege of speaking life to you. And if we go back to the word in it saying that the power of life and death is in the tongue, you know, if we kind of anchor ourselves in that scripture and we understand that the people that make up our community are people that have the power of literally informing some of our decisions and some of our beliefs and how we look and see ourselves, look at and feel and think of ourselves, then these are people that hold the power to either destroy you or to give you life, to break you down or to build you up. And so let there be just a little bit more intention that comes from there. Let there be just a little bit more thought that is invested from that. Um, I'm remembering what I was saying at the top of the episode when I had said to the Lord at some point, can't be more than 2 years ago though, where I was like, before I get married, I need you to literally figure out, like, let my friendships settle, right? But it's not a prayer that I said and I kept on revisiting. I quite literally forgot about it until I found myself in a conversation where I was unpacking, like, these are my people. This is my community. This is, and kind of reflecting on that conversation, I realized that, wait a minute, my friendship circle is now settled. And the reason why I asked God to do that for me was because I wanted to know who was going to be a part of my wedding, who was going to be in the wedding, like who was going to be at my wedding and who is going to be in the wedding. So at the wedding is just in attendance, and in the wedding is just making reference to the individuals that are going to be like a part of the actual wedding in the sense of being a bridesmaid or a maid of honor or whatever the case in point would be. Like, I don't want to think too much. I don't want to crack my brain. I want it to be very obvious. I want it to come out I want to settle on, you know, what that looks like very quickly. I don't want to think too much about it. I don't want to spend too much thought on it. And really and truly, it also came from the place that was, before I meet my husband, I want to know who my people are, so that when this man is now coming into my life, he's coming into something that I've built for myself already, something that already exists. That's something that I wanted for myself. I've always wanted to have um, a life of my own, a life that is just testament of Okanyisile on her own. I never ever wanted to find myself in a position, whether it's marriage or just like a dating relationship, find myself in a position where my partner's my end of and be all. I love life. I am an avid believer on the fact that life should be lived and to the absolute fullest. And so, yeah, that prayer also kind of came from that, and also just having the privilege of people that are going to suss out who your person is. Because one thing about me, Sana, I'm just now at a point where I don't want to think too much. Like, I have officially passed on the baton to my community that, alright, guys, here's a John, for example. I think he's cute. He looks good on paper, and yeah, I think we would make sense. I've passed on the baton to my people to kind of vet the person out because I'm just now not interested. I don't have the time of day. I genuinely don't have the time of day. So yeah, I'm just very grateful that God honored my heart in that regard. That my people have now settled. I've built a very beautiful community for myself that even with this current season being one of the most, I don't even want to say it's a tough season. It's just like it's such a weird season, bro. Like, I really don't want to say that it's tough because that's not necessarily an accurate calculation, but it's weird. Half the time I'm not sure if I'm coming or going, but the people that I have in my community, the people that I know that are rallying behind me and that are backing me, people that are praying for me, even without my knowledge. I trust those people. And over and above how they make me feel, in that they provide so much safety. And that has always been a big thing for me. That's a qualifying factor for my friendships. That if I feel safe, oh, Sana, because I've said again on multiple occasions on the pod that I never want to find myself in a space where I'm overthinking what I need to say, how I should say it. I need to be careful lest I'm misunderstood. No, I'm such a whimsical individual. I'm such a goofball. I love laughing. I love having my shoulders down. And so the last thing that I want is to find myself in a space where I have to be worried and kind of calculate my steps because of who's around me. That's why I don't play about the people that I let into my world and that I let into my heart. Um, but yeah, saying all of that to say that I have built a beautiful community for myself over and above, how these people make me feel and how they treat me and how they rally behind me, but just them as individuals. That even if they were to go out there and befriend other people, those people would get the same treatment that I'm getting because of how amazing they are. I mean, they don't even have to have a solid relationship with somebody to be good people. Like, oh, I wish I could literally pull my heart, you know, out of my chest and just present it on the pod so that you guys could get like a full picture of just how grateful I am and just, yeah, man, I am very grateful for the art of community, like the privilege of being able to even miss people that I love, being able to be in love with my friends. Because that's another thing. Like, I would be on the phone with a friend and I get off there and my heart is just doing cartwheels because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this person. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of this person, you know? But yeah, my parting words are, please do be a little bit more intentional when it comes to the art of community in your life. Make sure that it consists of people that want more for you than they do for themselves, people that love you more than they love themselves, um, people that are willing to go to the ends of the earth for you. Most importantly, people that have decided on you, because that makes things so much easier. Every argument comes from the bedrock that is, I've made up my mind about you, and we are not fighting each other, but we are fighting the situation, which is the same principle that could be used in marriage as well. That when we have an argument as friends or as a unit, um, we are not fighting each other because we've made up our minds, we've decided on each other. So we are fighting to figure out this situation that now has us, at odds. So yeah, make sure that your community consists of people that will go to the ends of the earth for you, people that love you and genuinely so, because it just makes life so much easier. Like, you could literally have nothing, but as long as you have those people, you are just as content like you have $1 million in the bank. Because yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the things that makes us happy. But anyway, let me not blab. I do believe that I've driven the point across. Today we've been seated with the art of community, and I sincerely hope that for people that feel like they haven't met their people yet, I really do pray to God that the Lord would honor your heart, that the Lord would gift you with people that are your people, people that love you, people that are so protective of you, and that would do quite literally anything But yeah, that's it. If I go further than this, I would be lying to you guys. But I hope you guys have an amazing week. Know that the Lord loves you and I love you, or rather, let's take it from this. Know that I love you and the Lord loves you far beyond any amount of love that I could ever offer you. But yeah, with that said, I'm blowing all the kisses under the sun, darling. Mwah. Once again, I'm your host, Kanye M, and thank you so much for listening.